WWE wrestlers have some of the most intense and grueling workout routines that we have ever seen in our lives. To become a pro wrestler, you need an insane amount of dedication, willpower, and determination. Every WWE wrestler has an extremely strenuous individual workout routine that caters to them specifically, with diets that would be considered crazy by our standards. So, let's have a look at some of them, shall we? Let's start with John Cena. John Cena has a whole legacy in the WWE at this point, what with being a star for more than a decade now. Like him or not, you've got to admit that he's always been in stellar shape, despite his packed schedule. The man has an incredible work ethic, and you can't deny that. His exercises are strenuous to the point that only trained pro bodybuilders can replicate them, and that too if they try with all their might. He works out 5 days a week and has his days divided into different muscle groups. Monday is his legs plus calves day, Tuesday is for his chest, Wednesday he builds his arms, Thursday he focuses on his shoulders, and Friday he works his back. Some of the exercises he does on the daily are leg presses, bench presses, barbell presses, dumbbell curls, pull-ups, deadlifts, high rows, and much, much more. To top it all off, he does 60 crunches after every single workout. The thought alone makes us feel dizzy. Up next, Rusev. Rusev is debatably one of the most underrated WWE champions, especially when you look at how powerful he is. The man trains 6 days a week with just one rest day, Sunday. His Mondays are all leg days, with exercises like lunges, squats, leg curls, and etc. Tuesdays are arm days, where he mostly does bicep curls and tricep extensions. On Wednesdays, he gives his chest hell. On Thursdays, he does the same with his shoulders and forearms. And on Fridays, he works his back. And on Saturdays, he does his chest and triceps again. Every time he works out, Rusev allegedly intensifies his workout with negligible resting time, something known as a progressive overload. Not only that, but Rusev does other exercises, like lifting sandbags, that train him for what he'd face in the ring. Then we have Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is known far and wide for his insane CrossFit routine, lovingly referred to as the CrossFit Jesus. He said before that he finds only strength training quite monotonous, and we don't really disagree, to be honest. No, Seth is a huge fan of the new CrossFit trend prevalent among fitness freaks around the globe. CrossFit is a combination of both cardio and weightlifting that targets every muscle group and works it to the bone. TLDR, it's way more vigorous than just heavy lifting. From Monday to Friday, Seth does CrossFit, and on Saturday, he rows 5,000 meters for a time. Sunday and Wednesday are his days off. His workouts are insanely grueling, with what seems like countless push-ups, pull-ups, burpees, lunges, and the like in his CrossFit routine. No amount of CrossFit isn't grueling anyways, and the amount that he does is definitely not within the capabilities of normal people like us. Up next, Goldberg. When Goldberg made a comeback to the WWE in 2016, the world was taken by surprise. He looked absolutely fantastic and in great shape. Keep in mind, this man is over 50 years old and was returning to the WWE after 12 whole years. It turns out he'd been training night and day to prepare for his return to the company. On top of the classic weightlifting regimen, Goldberg has been training in Muay Thai, i.e. a martial art combat sport commonly known as Thai boxing. He'd also incorporated several cardio exercises in his routine to stay fit and shredded. And then we have Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is, and probably always will be, the beast incarnate. Quite literally, because he's stronger than almost all the other champions, despite the fact that he's out of his prime. He trains like a crazy person in the gym to stay in shape. Very fitting for his nickname. On Mondays, he does chest, triceps, and conditioning. Tuesdays are for his back, triceps, and conditioning. Thursdays for shoulders and more conditioning. And Fridays are leg days with, you guessed it, conditioning. Though his weight training is usually pretty similar to other wrestlers, his conditioning routine has a highly intimidating number of push-ups, pull-ups, and high-intensity treadmill and bike exercises. Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays are his rest days. Up next, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the brunt of many jokes in the WWE franchise, a direct result of the WWE enforcing a crazy strong, superhuman stereotype onto him. Honestly, it's not even far from the truth. He is indeed very strong, and his workout routine is extra intense. He wouldn't be on this list after all if it wasn't. The man has only one rest day, Sunday, and he trains 6 days a week. Not only that, but his typical workout has up to 4 hours of weight training and cardio. Imagine doing that for 6 days in a row. But it doesn't end here. His standard daily exercises are deadlifts, leg curls, military presses, squats, leg extensions, dumbbell presses, and then much more. Apparently, he also eats like a caveman to make sure all his training is paying off, consuming great amounts of protein. Next, we have The Rock. The Rock's physical size has played a major part in getting him movie roles, and you'll find him playing the big, badass muscle hunk in almost every movie that he's in. Of course, he's built this image of himself, quite literally, by spending a rough quarter of his life in the gym. Apparently, The Rock wakes up at 3 a.m. daily and hits the gym by 4 a.m., spending at least 1.5 hours there doing cardio and weight training. He too trains 6 days a week, or at least he tries to, with different days allotted for different muscle groups. On Monday, he does his chest, Tuesday he works out his legs, Wednesday he works out his arms and abs, Thursday is for his back, Friday he maintains his shoulders, and Saturday is his second leg day. And he's also quite famous for consuming around 7 meals a day, so all that training definitely pays off. Next up is Charlotte Flair. Charlotte is definitely the queen when it comes to being the fittest in the women's wrestling roster. She too undergoes intense conditioning training, and trust us, it shows. That lady never seems to get tired during a match. Her physique is pretty shredded, which makes sense since she works out around 4 times a week, with most of her attention on her shoulders, legs, and back, and then on any one day of the week, she's either doing cardio or a full body workout to balance it out. For cardio, she cracks down on the elliptical and the stair climber, both on high resistance, of course, and again, not something within our normal human capacity. Now we have Batista. Though Batista is over 50 years old, it'd be impossible to believe it for someone seeing him for the first time. His shape is that great. His age doesn't faze him, it seems, because he's just as dedicated to his workout routines and hasn't decreased their intensity. The only thing that's changed over time is the rest time he takes after his workouts. So his comparatively mature body has enough time to recuperate. With 3 workouts a week, he takes 4 days off and still has the most sculpted physique imaginable. Sounds like something we could do, right? Wrong. Batista is called the Animal for a reason. His workouts are intense combinations of weight training exercises that we could only dream of doing once a week, let alone 3. On Mondays, he works on his thighs and calves with several reps of the standard exercises like leg curls, calf raises, and so forth. On Wednesdays, he works out his back and shoulders, and on Friday, his chest and his arms are the center of his attention. Now we have Braun Strowman. Finally, the crowned king of insane workouts, Braun Strowman, is rightfully titled the monster among men, because believe us when we say he is an absolute maniac in the gym. His workout routine is generally centered around the standard weight training, but because he's increased his cardio and conditioning, his regimen is more strenuous than most. This is a step he had to take to be able to participate in longer matches without tiring out. Though he does employ weight training exercises that are kind of basic, he makes his training 10 times more difficult than the average pro wrestler. How, you ask? By using weights that are way heavier than those of other superstars. Kinda genius, right? Well, it doesn't end there. If you think his workout regimen must be insane, his diet is way worse. The man eats 13,000 calories a day, every day. Imagine having to convert all that into the right amount of muscle and fat. Our bodies would simply give up. Well, that's a wrap for this video. What wrestler is your favorite out of the ones listed? Do you think we missed any? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this. See you in the next one.